There comes a point in watch collecting where the usual shortcuts stop working. Country of origin, brand age, even price, they don't tell the full story anymore. What really starts to matter is whether a brand understands itself. And right now, that's exactly where Atelier Wen finds itself. Today, we're taking a look at the Perception Millésime 2025 Xuán, and this might be one of the most thoughtful watches in modern independent watchmaking. Over the past few years, Atelier Wen has quietly built a reputation for doing things differently. Their designs are rooted in Chinese culture, but without feeling forced, cliché, or overly decorative. And recently, they proved they could compete at the very top end of watchmaking, with a release priced around $30,000. But instead of staying in that ultra-high-end space, they came back down to their core collection, the Perception. And this watch, it feels like everything they've learned, refined into one piece. Let's talk about what makes this release special. This is part of Atelier Wen's Millésime concept, essentially a yearly vintage within the collection. Each version is produced for a limited time, and once that window closes, it's gone for good. No reissues, no repeats. It creates a sense of finality, but without making the watch feel artificially scarce. Now, the biggest highlight of this 2025 edition is the dial. For the first time ever, Atelier Wen introduces a stone dial. But instead of going with something predictable like malachite or lapis lazuli, they chose petersite, a material rarely used in watchmaking. And this is where things get interesting. At first glance, the dial looks like a deep, rich blue, but as light hits it, you start to see layers, veins of lighter blue, soft whites, and subtle gold flecks. It's dynamic, organic, and constantly changing. And because it's natural stone, no two dials are ever the same. But here's the detail most people miss. Atelier Wen didn't just accept whatever came out of the material. They rejected a huge number of petersite slabs to ensure every dial matched their vision. That level of restraint is what separates this from a gimmick. The inspiration behind this dial comes from traditional Chinese shan shui landscape art, focused on balance, flow, and natural movement. And you can feel that here. Nothing is loud, nothing is forced. It's calm, layered, and intentional. This is cultural inspiration done right, not through symbols, but through material and design. Now, technically, this dial is extremely difficult to produce. Petersite is brittle, meaning it's hard to cut and finish without breaking. Each index cutout is carefully machined and polished, while still maintaining enough thickness for durability. And on top of that, the dial uses a 4-layer construction inspired by traditional Chinese joinery, relying on interlocking parts instead of heavy adhesives. That's craftsmanship you don't usually see at this level. Despite all that complexity, the watch remains highly wearable. The hands are clean and well proportioned, the contrast is strong, and legibility is not sacrificed. This is still a watch you can wear every day. Now let's talk about the case and bracelet. The Perception case has always been one of Atelier Wen's strengths, and that continues here. You're getting a 40mm case, 47mm lug-to-lug, and just 9.4mm thick. On the wrist, it feels slim, balanced, and incredibly comfortable. The case and integrated bracelet are made from 904L stainless steel, with excellent finishing throughout, sharp transitions, clean edges, and a bracelet that tapers beautifully towards the clasp. There's also an on-the-fly micro-adjustment system, which makes a real difference in everyday wear. Flip the watch over and you'll find a semi-display caseback with a hammered texture and a raised stone lion motif. It adds character without trying too hard. And the first 225 pieces are individually numbered as part of the Millésime release. Inside, the watch is powered by a customized Peacock SL1588A automatic movement. It's ultra-thin at just 3.4mm, runs at 28,800 vibrations per hour, and offers around 41 hours of power reserve. It's also adjusted in 5 positions and tested for reliability. The finishing is clean and refined, not overly flashy, but well executed. And importantly, it helps keep the watch slim and wearable. Now let's talk about price. The Perception Millésime Xuán comes in at $3,600, and when you consider everything, the stone dial, the craftsmanship, the materials, and the design, the value starts to make a lot of sense. This doesn't feel like a step down from Atelier Wen's high-end work. It feels like that experience brought back into a more accessible range. So what's the final verdict? This is not a watch trying to impress with hype. It's not chasing trends. It's simply a well-thought-out, beautifully executed piece that knows exactly what it wants to be. And honestly, that's what makes it special. For me, this is one of the most compelling versions of the Perception to date. What do you think? Would you pick this over other watches in the same price range? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy watch reviews like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.